G'day everyone, Duckville here. We're going to be watching a game, this time from the American ladder, the NA ladder, of course, where most of you guys will probably be playing. This is going to be, ironically, between a Korean and a player from the NA server. Up here in the top right-hand side of the crypts, we've got tQtRiXy, who is actually, from what I understand, a PswOneStar, who is a really good Terran player. He's not, obviously not someone of note in the scene over in Korea just yet, but he certainly is a very quality player and does some really good, there's mainly some, I've seen some of his replays where he's doing some nice two-base timing pushes and does really well, especially against Zerg. And fortunately for him, his opponent over here on the left, the top left side, is moemoland, who is going to be just starting out here as the blue Zerg. So he's going to be dealing with a Korean who is going to be quite a high-quality player. So we'll see what happens here. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but I couldn't actually find either of these guys on SC2 ranks, so I couldn't see exactly what rank they were. I'm assuming that they're masters at least, because that's how good, like obviously, OneStar is on the other server. I'm going to call him Rixy, just so I don't get confused and you don't get confused. In other replays, obviously, where his name is OneStar, I'll call him OneStar. But anyway, just so you know, Rixy is actually OneStar. So anyway, so yeah, OneStar's Rixy, sorry, is a really good player over on the Korean server. So this definitely should be Masters League at least. So we'll see what happens here in this match. This map is pretty cool. Of course, you can do fast expansions quite nicely, especially as a Protoss. You'd love to do a fast expansion here. You can put down your Forge Wall, all that sort of stuff. And of course, as we can see, moemoland going straight for that expansion there. Very nice to take it nice and quick. Going to get a spawning pool just after as well. He's going to be looking for that macro sort of game for the moment. Unfortunately, his Overlord has gone in the incorrect direction. He's going to head down here and actually find out that Rixy is over on the other side of the map, but it looks as if we're going to have a standard sort of opening, so nothing too cheesy coming out of Rixy for the moment. Only just that that one barracks up and operational. So we'll find out what he's going to go for quite shortly. It looks as if he's scouting out cross spots over here. Meanwhile, Momo is still not actually grabbing his gas just yet. We probably will see that very soon, if not actually. He's actually going to leave it alone for the moment. So he's going to go for that that no gas expansion, getting out those lings pretty quickly there, just making sure that you can control a little bit of what's happening on the ground. But it looks as if one drone will actually find out exactly what is going on here. There is a Marine heading down to moemoland's base. He's going to get inside and be able to find out that that hatchery is getting up and running and is about to pop. So he's going to be able to run along here and perhaps cause a little bit of harassment here. A couple of drones coming down the ramp, deciding that is not actually a cool idea at all. They're going to just head straight to the mineral line and get down to business, but looks as if they will have to contend with an SCV that's just poking around here, but a few links come out, and that is going to be the end of any possible bunker harassment there from Rixy. So we can see back at the base of Rixy, he's getting that factory up straight away. We've got the reactor as well just popping up here. It looks as if he'll grab that command center pretty quickly. Going to use those Hellions to control the map for the time being while he gets the natural expansion up and running. As we said, he does have a really nice two-base timing attack where he will come in. Of course, it's a pretty sort of signature move of many Terran players, of course, but I've seen Rixy do it really nicely in some of his replays. So we'll see what happens here. Grabbing out two Hellions, going to get a reactor again on that Rax, going to be able to get a few more Marines out, and the command center just half done. So he's going to need to deal with this one ling that's down at the ramp, but other than that, he should be able to get a lot of map control once the Hellions are out. And as we can see, there are still a few lings out. He's going to try and control these Zelnaga watchtowers, of course. On this map, there are 4 of them, providing a lot of vision through the center of the map. Generally, in these sort of situations, you'll only see 1, maybe 2 of them taken by a particular player at a particular time. And as we can see here, Rixy's just going to head up and try and just have a quick peek at exactly what is going on. Knows, of course, that the Zerg is over in this left-hand position, but is not actually sure exactly what is going on just yet. And as we can see, only the 1 gas taken for moemoland. He's just got this one down at the natural expansion. Interesting gas to take there, actually. But it does look as if he is going to be defending quite nicely here with this spine crawler just burrowing in right now. Rixy's going to just check out exactly what's happening at the watchtowers. Now he's going to try and poke in the front door, going to have a look and see how far he can get. There is a queen, along with that 1 spine crawler. That is going to be more than enough to take care of these 2 Hellions, and the Hellions are going to try and do what they can, but there's not much to be done there. So we are going to see, as we said, that map control going up there for Rixy is going to be able to get this natural expansion going up pretty quickly. be expecting him to just pull that orbital over quite soon. He's just leaving that there for the moment. What he is actually doing, there he goes. He's going to get that out now. He's going to have a couple of tanks. We're going to get the siege mode, no doubt, in a short moment once there's a bit more gas on the table for him. He's going to get a lot of Marines as well, so he's going to be quite well defended for the time being. As we said, this map promoting a really nice fast expansion area here, because you can run down and then wall off this quite nicely here, and then you can full wall it off. Like a lot of people in some of the other maps where you need to wall off, sometimes you won't actually wall off in full. You'll leave a little space for your units to get through so you don't have to destroy a building. But on this map, it's actually really nice. You can actually just do a full wall off here, as we'll see him do. There he goes. And then actually just destroy the rocks once you actually want to move out. And of course, for a Terran, you can lower your supply depots anyway. But the point remains for Protoss players out there, of course. But we'll just have a look at what moemoland's up to, getting a lot of creep spread going here. Good to see that he has spread the creep down to the natural here, so that his units can transfer from the main down into the natural quite quickly there. And when you do have that sort of creep spread going, you know you're doing a good job. And as we can see here, he's actually got we've got 3 active creep tumors at the moment, actually. In fact, 4. We've got a 4th one down here, just pushing down towards that 3rd base. So he's going to get this all prepared to go. Probably wants to take that 3rd base pretty soon, but what he's got to watch out for, here comes this attack from Rixy. He's going to push out with 3 tanks. The siege mode is on the way. It's probably going to get done by the time this attack gets down to the Zerg base, but he is going to find that there is a lot of creep spread here, and that means there will probably be a few units to deal with as well. Here come the tanks and the Marines. These Marines do not have stim just yet, so keep that in mind when this battle commences. We've got, where are the units from Momo? Here they are. They're down the bottom. He's actually going to try and flank from the southern side of this position, but it looks as if the tanks are now ready to rock, because they've got their siege mode up and running. Marines getting into position, just spreading out a little bit here, getting a bunker in that very small spot that isn't creeped up. But Momo is going to just bide his time for the moment. You don't want to rush when you're trying to defend against this sort of thing. What he's going to do is probably get that hatchery up and running, and then hope that he can actually fend this off. It's not too much of a push to deal with. There's only the 3 tanks, of course. He is going to have a lot of banelings on the map as well, and once those get into the fight, they're going to be able to dispose of those Marines quite quickly. And in fact, it looks as if Momo is actually moving positions. He's actually going to send the Lings around, maybe in fact to try and do a counter-attack into the natural expansion of Rixy. But it looks as if this spine crawler is not going to have a long time to go, because one Marine comes in. That guy feels pretty buff. He just actually took out that whole spine crawler himself. That's what he's thinking. But he's going to have to deal with some banelings quite shortly here. Those Lings did try and counter-attack, but there is that bunker filled up with Marines for the moment here, and it looks as if Momo is actually getting into position, getting prepared to do the flanking. Here he goes, sending in, no, it's just those Zerglings down there for the moment here. I think he was actually just trying to get up on top of the watchtower, but here we go. We've actually got a lot of Lings out on the map. He's got a total of 44 Lings out. We've got 13 banelings. They do not have their speed just yet. I think that's exactly what Momo is waiting for, and his +1 to the melee attacks as well. So he's going to have a lot of units just pushing out now. Here they come. Banelings down to the southern side. Lings sweeping through the top. We got banelings in the top section as well. It looks as if everything is going to get wiped out here. Perhaps actually just keeping in check are those Zerglings, but they are going to be taken out here. There's just a few too many Marines, along with a couple of tanks. The tanks, however, have been whittled down just a bit there. Losing one of the tanks, the remaining 2 are actually quite damaged here, so he's going to have to head back, repair those up, and prepare for a secondary push. We've got a couple of extra tanks inside the main. This natural expansion has its gas just going up quite soon there. We've got a few more racks on the way as well, along with the starports. So we do see that Rixy is going to get prepared for that second push, which is generally what you do see in these sorts of matchups. But what he's going to do is get prepared at the front of his natural here. Just those Zerglings just actually poking too far through the grass. They're going to need to make sure they mow the lawn next time they're over there, because they want to see exactly what is happening here. But what he is going to do is take this Zelnaga watchtower and do a good job of controlling this area. As we said, you generally only see people actually get 1 or 2 of the towers, because you do get good vision from it. And as we heard on the screaming, there was the Spire. We've actually got the Spire done, and there are some Mutalisks out. Where are they? We've actually got them hiding out somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where they are, but oh no, he's actually going to get them in production right now. My bad. But he's going to have to deal with quite a lot here. These Marines do have their combat shield and stim. They have their +1 on the way as well, so it's going to be a lot for those Mutalisks to deal with once they hatch, which will be in just a moment. There will be 11 of those Mutalisks, but there is a turret inside the main that's going to protect this for the time being, along with the natural as well. And then, as we mentioned, this very, very cool tank spread here by Rixy, just pushing out, making sure that he is controlling this area quite nicely. Of course, he can push in and take a third base here, which is always a good idea when you are against a Zerg like this, because if you can expand towards your opponent, it means you're covering more ground towards your opponent instead of moving away from them, such as a position like this or down here, where you're actually pushing your forces back to defend instead of pushing them forward. So that's this is a key part of the way that Rixy is playing out this map. But now with these Mutalisks out, they're going to try and do what they can against this impending doom that is slowly pushing its way across the map, taking out an SCV, getting that bunker taken down as well. But here is a drop from Rixy trying to get inside. These Marines are not going to last too long. The Mutalisks sweeping by, and they are going to take this out quite quickly here. The medevac unfortunately going down as well, but it looks as if we... Wait, double spire? Alright, we got double spire here from Momo. A bit of a mistake there, no doubt. Perhaps he was trying to select a drone or a larvae or something like that and accidentally hit his spire button. I don't know. But what he does have is +1 just about to complete. What would be cool if we see him going double upgrades for mutas. That'd be quite fun. But as we said before, this big long push coming along the map here from Rixy. In fact, look at that vision he's got. He's got a sensor tower in the mix here. I'm going to go put the command center down, but that's not going to last too long if those mutas hang around. You're going to need a giant fly swatter if you want to get rid of those from that expansion for the time being, because they are slowly getting into a decent sort of number here. The Marines are going to have to pull back. They do have their +1 already done, of course, as Stim is also done. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage to the mutas if they get caught out, but the problem is actually catching them out. The positioning here for the mutas, providing them with a lot of quite a safe haven here to hang out if he wants to. But here comes the problem, is that this push from Rixy is slowly getting its way closer and closer to the Zerg base. Of course, we've got tanks extending back all the way to this watchtower. We've got Marines in the mix here as well. They're going to be able to provide the defense against these mutas, and it looks as if Rixy is going to have to deal with the rocks being taken down quite soon. Let's see exactly what he has, what Momo has in his base. He's got a bunch of lings. We've got some banelings as well, and it looks as if this small Marine force is going to be causing a lot of damage. He's taking out a couple of overlords just there, putting Momo in the red, so he's going to have to worry about that in just a second. But here come those mutas. They're still chipping away at these rocks. The ironic part of this is that the glaive worm attacks are actually bouncing onto some of these Marines, and look at those Marines actually getting down into the red there. That medevac's going to have a big time actually repairing that up. But unfortunately, a couple of Mutalisks actually flying straight over the Terran forces here, and it looks as if Rixy is going to go straight for a push here, moving in some of these Marines. They have their +1 to armor now as well, so they're going to be quite well defended against the impending attacks. And speaking of which, here it comes. Momo actually pushing through with some of those Zerglings, actually blasting away a lot of those Marines, but there are so many reinforcements coming in here from the back from Rixy, and he is actually going to survive that attack. So he's going to be in a fantastic position now. Actually just losing a couple of those tanks, unfortunately not a good position for him. Looks as if he may move back. He's actually in the red with a few of those Marines. In fact, no, there he goes, turning around. We've got this one expeditionary force sitting at the front here. These guys are just chilling. They're just having some tea and biscuits over here. Not really sure what the plan is there, but they have been taken out. The mutas are actually getting low as well. They're actually getting quite low on their health, but here comes the final push, I would say. So many Marines on the ground with these medevacs to help heal them up. There is no way that Momo is going to survive that, and down he goes. So bit of an unfortunate misstep, perhaps, from Momo, actually letting a few of those Mutalisks go down and just letting that push snake its way across the map. Obviously, it's hard to actually try and stop that sort of attack from getting through, but perhaps some counter plays would have been nice. Using the Mutalisks a little bit more would have been really good to see them inside the Terran base, but unfortunately, Rixy, with that Korean skill, 1-star, as we mentioned before, is able to pull out. Look at that APM sitting up there at 129 average, and that's in the new patch, which is actually less than normal. So hope you guys enjoyed that game. That was a bit of fun, and we'll see you in new games soon. Cheers.